I'm very excited for our guest today. Joining us in studio, Yakov Smirnoff, who I've been a fan of most of my life, not probably my whole life at this point. I have been to the Branson show. I am a big comedy historian, if you will. Obviously know of your history. And your story is that it's just an amazing story.
Thank you.
When you go to see your show in Branson, that, at least for when I saw it, that was really the key takeaway of it, is just how amazing your American dream journey has been.
It has
whether
been.
that's from your time when you made it to America in the Catskills and then working your way to the Comedy Store. It's just a phenomenal journey that really seems like it only can happen here.
Yeah, I really appreciate you saying this. And I'm doing a show tomorrow, Saturday at 4 p.m. at Zany's. And my when I have an hour that I can take them on that journey, and they're laughing all the way through, and yet it paints a picture of where I grew up and how my life was and how it changed when I came to America, and then how it changed again when I came to Hollywood and started making movies. And I thought every immigrant gets a movie with Robin Williams, or Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson or Tom Hanks. I was just enjoying this.
This is what happens
This
here.
right, but I didn't understand that I was just lucky to kind of come to America when there was a lot of tension between the Soviet Union and Russia, so Soviet Union and America. And so I was popular because Americans I was like, I say they were pain in the behind the Soviet Union, and I was like preparation H. I was helping to release the swelling and the tension. So
yeah, and it was your journey there, of course, like, Moscow and the Hudson, all of that happens, because it was such a topic at the time. And now it probably is more relevant than ever to have these discussions again.
I think in some ways, I think what President Trump is trying to do is to stop the conflict, and that would help with humor as well, because it's kind of hard to make jokes about, when people are in that situation. So, but there was a time the Soviet Union collapsed, and David Letterman had a top 10 list of things that will now change. I made number 1 on the list. Yakov Smirnoff will be out of work. And 6 months later, I was out of work. My contracts in Vegas, Atlantic City, Reno, Tahoe were not renewed. So all of a sudden, I'm in Malibu between all these big stars, $2.5 million home, no money to pay for a mortgage. So American dream was all of a sudden, it's a nightmare. What am I doing? So I start looking for a place where they did not know that the Soviet Union collapsed. Ended up in Branson, Missouri. Yeah. They still don't know. Bless their hearts. It's been the best thing that could happen to me. Landing there, I entertained over 6 million people in my own 2,000-seat theater. I mean, it's crazy for a boy that grew up in Ukraine to achieve that. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, when you see your theater, it's very impressive. It's got your artwork everywhere you walk in. It is like your own little Disney World of Yakov that's there.
Yakov World.
Yakov World that's there. But now you are doing a show here tomorrow. You are starting to kind of dip your toe, it feels like, back into touring and stand-up a little bit more traditionally, because that show is almost a one-man show as well as a comedy night. It is like stand-up, but it definitely tells your whole story.
Exactly.
It's wonderful, especially for the Branson crowd. It is that almost theatrical experience.
Yeah.
But you're going to be at Zany's. That is a legit, probably Nashville's one of our greatest and longest lasting things is Zany's Comedy Club.
It's a great
It's
club.
been there for a great room. But you'll be there, and now it seems like that's starting to shake up for you again.
Well, in what way? When the Soviet Union collapsed, I also went through a divorce at that time, and I started learning more about relationships and why is there laughter in the beginning of the relationship, but if you're going for a divorce, the only people are laughing are attorneys. And you go, what? As a comedian, it made me kind of go, what is it that changes in the relationship? So I went from, doing jokes about the Cold War in the world to Cold War in the bedroom. And that's what lasted me last 32 years. So I talk about men, women. So a lot of my material now is about that. And then I got my master's degree at the University of Pennsylvania in psychology. Then got my doctorate degree at Pepperdine because I wanted to scientifically figure out what happens to laughter.
Yeah.
And so I gift wrap all of this knowledge in my show, and I am capable to tell people, about relationships and tell them my backstory and give them some hope that there is, no matter what happening, laughter is something you want to aim for.
Yeah, and you've been pretty fiercely patriotic also throughout,
very much so,
throughout your whole career. I mean, obviously that was sort of the bedrock of maybe the original, you'd say, material that you were doing.
What a country.
What a country.
Yes.
And now you're still that way. I mean, I'm looking at your hat right now. If you go through your Branson, there's paintings all over that are very American, very patriotic. And I think it's important as people have a lot of divisive things happening in the news, or they feel like there is this separation, to remember it is a pretty small world that we all live in, but people like you have been able to kind of break down that door and remain a real, really a proponent of America.
Very much so. And helping people see what unites them and not divides them. And it's kindness. It's kindness that it lives in every American's heart. And it's totally different from being brought up in behind the Iron Curtain. You were surviving and you had to get everything for you. And coming to America, realizing that people do it for others and it makes them feel good, that was a shocker. But it became like my, I got off the plane, I see my name written, America loves Smirnoff. I'm going, what a country, So, yeah, it's been an amazing journey.
You talked about when you came to L.A. and to the Comedy Store and all that. You look at that lineup, and I've seen the documentaries and everything you've been involved.
No.
You look at that lineup of people who were with you, that class, if you will. It has to be crazy now, 40 years-ish later, to look back and be like, well, that was a very special time, because it was phenomenal.
It was. I mean, people, I made movies with those people. Robin Williams, Moscow and Hudson. Movie with Tom Hanks, Money Pit. Movie with Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson called Heartburn. And I'm proud to say, after working with me, all of those actors won an Oscar. And
There's a common denominator there. Yeah.
And I got Oscar Mayer Wiener. So but it's all good. The point is that I've been very, very blessed, and I performed for 4 different presidents of the United States. I've been, I don't know. It's my story. I listen to it and I go, is that really me, or am I watching a movie or something?
It does feel that way. Well, I would encourage everyone, you go to yakov.com to find out all the information for the shows. It's really great that you stopped by, because I think it's important for people to hear your story still. I think it's a very relevant story to what's going on, to know that the American dream not only can happen, but here's proof, and here's it happening in real time.
Yeah,
it's still happening.
And it goes through ups and downs.
Yeah.
But yet you remember more ups than downs.
Yeah. We are so excited to announce the ACLJ's brand new app, completely redesigned to provide you with the best tools available to partner with us at the ACLJ. You can watch the daily Sekulow program, sign the petitions, customize your ACLJ membership experience, donate with the click of a button, and receive up-to-the-minute critical updates that the mainstream media can't censor. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to your phone's app store, search ACLJ, and click install. It's that simple.